All right, so to get started, please respond to the Do Now on this Google form. This is what it looks like. Your name, what tools have we used so far for this project? Click all that apply. What is the difference between a PSD and PNG? And why do you think we're doing a project about pizza? And you're going to submit your response. Keep in mind, the Do Now is worth 20% of your grade. So you should absolutely be responding to that. This is a review of the expectations. And then as a connection, what is the point of doing this project regarding pizza? So it kind of echoes what we responded to in the Do Now. Steps from yesterday. If you were not here yesterday or you did not do yesterday's steps, I will ask that you please go back to those steps. You do need yesterday's part of it in order to complete it. So steps for today are going to include opening up your file from yesterday, inserting 2 more toppings from the Google Drive folder. You have the option of inserting another topping or utensil onto your pizza pie. You're going to sign your name. You're going to save it as a PSD and export onto Google Classroom by 6 p.m. today. All right, so what we are going to do, I should probably include the link for Photopea, shouldn't I? So you're going to go to photopea.com. At this point, you should have it bookmarked, but there it is. So photopea.com, click on that. You're going to click File in the top left corner and then click Open. And you need to click on the PSD file from yesterday. Should say PSD. I'm going to show you why it's so important that you open the PSD. Here is the PNG. Even though it says PSD up here, it's the PNG. It only says PSD because I just opened it and Photoshop will convert it. But you'll notice on the one that was saved as PSD, I still have all of my layers intact. The one that was PNG, it just flattened it all. I can't really work with that. That's great for the internet and great for Google Classroom and social media, but I need to work with my PSD. So in case you're wondering why they both say PSD now, that's why. Make sure that if you're seeing this, when you go to open, make sure you are clicking on the one that says PSD. All right. So if you click on the wrong file, you won't be able to edit the layers. What we're going to do, we're going to download at least 2 more toppings. So the link is there for the pizza access folder. It is up to you what 2 toppings you want to include. I'm going to click on black olives. Why not? My computer is going to take a hot second to load. I'm going to click on the download button in the top right. And then, you know what, just to make people angry, I'm going to click pineapple. I'm going to click download in the top right. You can add more than that if you want. If you're like, I really want to add pepperoni, go for it. My school growing up had like noodles on pizza sometimes, so I'm going to download that. Honestly, don't knock it till you try it. It's pretty fantastic. So what you're going to do is you're going to open and place them. So File, Open and Place, and I'm going to just click Shift and then click on all 3 of them at the same time. So just like yesterday, we can move them around. I'm going to move the olives off to the side for right now because I'm going to deal with that last. The noodles, I'm going to make a little bit smaller, kind of like in the center. Actually, you know what? I might even make it even smaller so it's like half noodles because not everyone wants noodles on their pizza. If I want to rotate it, you guys know I can just hover my mouse above one of those little squares and you're going to get that little frowny face and I can just rotate it. So now if I want to move the pineapple, I'll click on the layer that has the pineapple, move that over here. I feel like it should be a little bit smaller. So I'm going to click on one of the squares in the corner. I'm just going to drag that to be a little bit smaller. Okay, I don't know any pineapple slices that are that small. There we go. And now I feel ready to deal with the olives. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just make that a bit smaller. And what I also want to do is I want to actually duplicate them because I feel like there could be more. So what I'm going to do is at the top of my screen, I'm going to click layer. I'm just going to click duplicate layer. And then I can move it. Now I have 6 olives. So this is a really easy way to just duplicate your layer to make more of them. Super fast, super easy. You're going to save your work. So for quick save, File, Save as PSD. After this, you can just hit Control S to save it really quickly. Whoops. I need to stop doing that. So now you're going to be like, Okay, if I want to move the layer order around, I still can. So I'm going to go into Photopea, and if I'm like, you know what, one of my olives are just kind of like on top of my noodles. I don't want that. I want my noodles on top. Click on my noodles. I'm just going to drag those to the top. So you can move around layer order if you need to. You guys know if you make a mistake, you have the history up here. You can always undo. All right, same things that we just covered. Drag and drop method if you need to move them around. So I can move this under, I can move it on top. Remember, if let's say I wanted to move my noodles all the way to the back, I could click layer, arrange, and I could click send to back. If I want to undo it, I could just click on the history in the top right. So same thing as we talked about yesterday. All right, change the sizes. I did the duplicate. And final optional step to add an image of your choice. I think this just kind of goes to the next level. So I'm going to click on this link that says clean PNG and think about what I want to add. I am going to add, honestly, I think I'm going to add a napkin. So I'm going to type napkin. This is just like the other site that we've used, but it actually has a search bar, which is kind of helpful. So oh, that's perfect. I'm going to click on the one that I want. That's perfect. Oh, so fancy. And when I have one that I like, I mean, if I don't like it, I could always go back and choose a different one, but I like this. I'm going to scroll down to this button that says free download in red. And it might ask you if you're a robot. As you can see here, it asks me if I'm a robot. I'm not a robot, so I clicked on the box. It says I'm not a robot. If you're a robot, I guess don't click on that. This website does glitch a little bit. So it says your download should start automatically. If not, click here. I'm going to click it again because it didn't start automatically. Let's try one more time. I can see it's loading up here. You know what? I'm going to give it a second. If it doesn't load in the next 30 seconds, I'll go back and try again. But like the website just might need a second. Okay, I'm kind of impatient. Free download. There we go. That only took 30 minutes of my life. No, it didn't. It took like 30 seconds, but I'm just dramatic. So I have it downloaded. You can see it in my download bar. File, open in place. I'm going to click on the napkins, and I'm going to just make this a little bit smaller. Ooh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have it kind of hanging off the edge, and I'm going to actually put it underneath the other layers. Ah, yeah, that looks fancy. All right. One other thing that I want to do that I'm just kind of feeling is I want to play with the colors for that because it's just like a little bit too blue, you know? So I'm going to click on image adjustment, and then I'm going to click hue saturation. You don't have to do this, but like I kind of want to just change the color, I think, to something a little bit more warm tone. There we go. And I just played around with it a little bit. So again, if you're like, I want to change the color of something I just put in, you've put in red pepper and you want to change the color, click on the layer that you want, click image, adjustment, and then hue slash saturation. That's my favorite. All right, back to the slides. Move your optional object around, resize it, and we're going to sign our name. All right, so I'm going to click on the T. I'm going to click on the area that I want my text to be, and I'm going to type this a search. If I'm like, you know what, I want to make it a little bit smaller or a little bit bigger, I can highlight it. Then at the top here where it says size, I could just change the size. I actually kind of like it around 24 for this one. It's a pretty small size. If I want to move it further down, I can hover my mouse like an inch or basically anywhere away from my picture or like from my text. Because if I try to click on the text itself, it just lets me edit the text. If I want to move it, I need to click above where it is. Like you can see, I clicked like more than an inch above. And then I can click and then I can drag that around. All right, so now to wrap up, let's save, export, and do the exit ticket. So file, save as PSD, file, export as PNG, hit save, and I'm going to put that on Google Classroom by 6 o'clock today. The last step is the exit ticket. What is the purpose of signing your name on your work for art for this class? And you'll message me that directly on Zoom, or you can comment on your assignment on Google Classroom with it.